What's up, y'all? Kyle Hamilton here. I want to give a quick shout out to Lucas, Connor, and Ryan in the Week 0 podcast.
Jackson rolling out, 3rd and 7 after the penalty, and it's a completion to Kuma. He's still running. Kuma breaks free against the Tire defense as the Hokies deliver the dagger here in Tallahassee. Empty look for Richardson. Oh, that is danger! Oh my! Keidron Smith cuts inside, and he's gonna pick six it in the swamp. Cat scratch fever Smith.
DJ is picked off, intercepted again by Benjamin Morrison. Here goes Morrison down the sideline. Can he go? Yes, he can. Touchdown, pick six, Benjamin Morrison. Nix drops back underneath. Touchdown, Ducks. Wow. Chase Taylor. Connor, we're live, dude.
I don't know what just happened.
No, you're good.
What just happened? I don't know what happened there. All of a sudden, my laptop
no.
just freeze. That just ended really quickly there. I don't know what just happened. Laptop's just fucking up again. But what is up? Welcome to the Week 0 podcast and Maize Mad Man. We have no idea where Phil is. Ryan, can you share the link with him?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
So yeah, go blue. Please no lame-o guest. I don't know. Are you talking about Garrison? I don't know who he's talking about. Take that.
Probably.
Take that joke of a hat off.
Nope.
Yeah. Let me. Do you want me to get it up, or do you want me to have it? Do you want to put it up the thing?
What thing? Oh, I got it.
You got that too? Cool.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. If you guys are asking where Phil is, we have no idea.
He's
the link to him.
We're sending it to him right now, actually. So he will. He should join us here shortly. Oh no!
Appreciate it, Handy.
Oh man!
And of course, Phil's late for everything. Of course, he is. He's always late.
Yeah,
for
Phil's
everything.
on Phil's time. When you win 3 in a row, you can do whatever you want. So.
It's kind of funny because what was it, like 6 or 7 in a row that they had lost before this?
Yeah. So no, it was long. Wasn't it more than that? Oh shoot. Okay, hold up.
That's actually a good question. I don't know. Let me look that up. Ohio State, Michigan. Rivalry. The game.
So while we wait for Phil,
let me check this. Let me check this real quick. It was they had won 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. They had won 8 straight. Last time Michigan had won before this three-peat was at home in 2011. That was was that the year Ohio? Yeah, that was the year Ohio State wasn't even ranked, because I think that was that coming off. I think that was following like the Tressel tattoo
I think
scandal.
So.
I think so Ohio State wasn't even ranked for that game.
Andy Scapers, just so you know, man, it feels good because you know what, we can't lose on our 13th game, and also not having it's basically another bye week for Michigan because you guys get to play Iowa or Purdue every year. So, I mean, yeah, if we played Iowa and Purdue, we'd beat them too. I mean, we actually beat Purdue a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, Golden's right though. It sucks that it's already over.
Doesn't it feel like we just got here?
Yes, it does. It legit does. Also, it's still crazy that despite how long Ohio State had that win streak for, Michigan still has 10 more wins in the rivalry. They have 61-51 against Ohio State, which is kind of crazy. Because actually, let me look at this, because I think Ohio State actually won from 2004 to 2019. Michigan won one time. They lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They lost 15. Wait, is that 15? Yeah, they lost 15 out of 16 games from 2003 to 2019. That's
not
crazy.
really Scapers.
So that's a crazy level of domination, and yet Michigan still has like the number one. Oh, that's why Michigan literally won the first 15 games of the rivalry.
Oh, for real?
Actually, they won. Yeah, from 1897 to 1819, they won. There's 15 games, and Michigan won all of them. Oh, there's Phil.
There's Phil.
And then actually they won 21 of the first 24. Michigan did. Ohio State won 3 straight in after World War I. What's up, Phil? How you doing, man? I'm sure you were, dude. I'm sure you were having quite a bit of fun, enjoying yourself a little bit. I'm sure you needed some alone time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Following that win Saturday.
Bro, that first of all, it was a good game. Ohio State showed up, for sure. And I got to give them some credit. I got to give Marvin Harrison played well. Their defense is good, elite even.
By the way, Phil, real quick, man, because I saw someone just bringing up the comments, the recruits there.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch your video. I saw it pop up, but I'm going to watch that tonight. But I know Christopher Burgess was one of them.
Oh, you mean for the visit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't. I only did. So on my video, the pre-record that I did, I only recapped 3. the 3 that I think are the most important right now, which was DJ Pickett, Bryce Underwood, and Gatlin Bear. But there were plenty. I was actually working on a video before I came on this tonight, and I was supposed to interview a kid, 4-star cornerback Dwayne Galloway. By the way, I know people are looking for that. We had to reschedule it again. He had workouts tonight, so to anybody asking, we will get that done. But yeah, so it was a lot of talent there for the game.
Yeah, for that's the guy I was telling you guys that. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting, but
right.
No, I mean,
well, guys want to go on the visits anyway.
Yeah. No, yeah, I just thought that was interesting that he went. He posted that he had a great time there, but
that's interesting. They've changed it. It's no longer the ACC Big Ten Challenge, just the ACC SEC Challenge. Interesting.
Well, ESPN doesn't have the rights for the Big Ten anymore, so they got to do what they got to do.
That's why. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I definitely think I set my rankings in. Obviously, I think the top 2 are just it's gonna be Georgia, Michigan.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see where they put Ohio State and Florida State, in my opinion. Those are the 2, obviously, that will be interesting to see. Florida State, I feel like they might drop again because of how close that game was, and now that their backup is now out. He has a concussion, I think.
Yeah, man. They can't have any worse luck, bro. It's horrible.
I mean, I do feel bad for them. Like, I don't think they have no shot. I
don't think so either.
I don't even know if he's not playing. I don't even know if I would trust them to beat Louisville, even after Louisville lost to Kentucky.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yep.
Like, obviously we'll do those pick'ems come Thursday. The games, dude. That 4th and 31. My God, that is such a gut punch for Auburn.
They deserve whatever they get. I mean, like, that's horrible football. Joe Torres, I agree with that, actually. At least even for just this week. If it's just this week, I agree with that.
Oh, Michigan being 1. I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
I think
we're the only team now with 2 top 10 wins.
Yeah, so I guess I could totally see it jumping. Plus the Georgia Tech kept it close against Georgia, at least from what I saw for a bit. I don't know. We'll see. So.
Oh, that was a good game too. Yeah, you're right. Georgia Tech was in that one all the way.
Yeah, I remember seeing one play where Georgia Tech had a great end around that got down inside the 10. It was like 30. They were down like 31 to.
Bro, Georgia Tech
17.
led for almost the entire first half.
Yeah.
What was the final score? It was like 31-13.
31 to 23. 31
23.
Yeah, so Georgia Tech came back and scored like 10 unanswered.
Yeah.
They kept it close. So
Georgia Tech's also
I remember people seeing that backside of the interception, Michigan, thinking his elbow was the football hitting the ground.
Yeah.
They were like, that was incomplete.
How like inadvertently racist is that?
No, I was about to say that reminds me back in 2019, the Ravens were playing the 49ers and the Ravens beat the 49ers and the 49ers radio announcer said, like defending this RPO with Lamar is so difficult. You can't see the ball because it's the same color as his skin or something. Because
I didn't.
That is crazy that the radio announcer said that. By the way,
he got suspended for a game. Or he said something. He didn't say exactly that, but he said it to like that effect. I'm not hating. Why am I hating? I'm not hating.
I think
Ryan's
are we
the
allowed
hater.
to have? Are we allowed to have the volume on this?
I don't think so.
What if we do closed captioning? Can you do closed captioning?
Ryan, can we do closed caption?
We're able to have the volume on for when they do the rankings.
Got you. Okay.
Okay.
Just not for this part. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
I'll turn it up now.
Oh my God, they still keep K-State ranked? Really?
Hanging in the rankings and notch in Texas' favor. Liberty moves up 1.
Yeah, Kansas State massive to stay in the top 25. That is Texas's
I
third
think UNLV
ranked
should be
win.
ranked.
Had they fallen out, it'd be down to 2. That also
Where are
has
they?
a benefit to
10 and
Oklahoma
2.
State and to Missouri as well, who's trying to hang on for a New Year's Six bowl invite.
And Tulane, likely to be the highest ranked team in the group of 5. They've got
So Liberty needs Tulane to lose in the AC, the American title,
Tennessee
to have a shot.
is at 21.
At what?
Let's go to the next group.
At the
number
New Year's Six.
20, Oregon State stays in the mix, Joey, after getting hammered by Oregon.
Liberty should be
Bro, I don't understand this. Get Iowa out in front of us, bro.
No. Iowa's right where they should be.
Iowa's right where they should be.
Notre Dame's out here blowing out trash teams. Iowa's struggling with trash teams, and we get moved up a spot.
I'd love to see you guys play them. I feel like
We would
could
dominate
beat you because
Iowa. It would not even be close. Yes, we would.
Unlikely, but the Hawkeyes are at number 16. Let's look at the next group of teams, 15 through 11. And at number 15,
The disrespect, Louisville should not be ahead of us.
There's Arizona. Arizona didn't move.
This weekend in the ACC championship
Louisville should
game,
absolutely be ahead of you.
No, they should not.
After losing to Kentucky.
Yeah,
Well,
we talked
LSU's
all
not
year
the
about
13th
job
best team in the
that
country, I'm
Arizona's
sorry.
done this year out in the
Well,
very
their quarterback's
going
gonna win the Heisman.
So, or impressive job
He should not
there.
win the Heisman.
Louisville still
But
has an
Nick should
opportunity
win
to
the
go
Heisman.
out
Ryan
as
would be
big winners,
so
depending on what
mad. Would be
happens this
so
weekend
mad
in
when that
Charlotte.
happens.
LSU sitting right there.
You know what would happen is Notre Dame could
we
beat
thought they'd
LSU in
maybe
the fucking
slip
Pop-Tarts
in,
Bowl,
but
and they'd
could
still
not
have
quite get
LSU
it
ranked
done.
ahead of
And
us.
just
You get to eat the Pop-Tart at least.
Kiffin and
Do you
Ole
see
Miss,
that?
that's a
The
really
mascots can
solid
be
year for
edible.
the Rebels.
He said my
Only
high
2
school team
losses
could
on
win
the
the
road
West.
at Alabama, on the road at
That's true.
Georgia. Let's go into the top 10 now.
Here we go.
At number 10, Penn
Look
State.
at that.
Their 2 losses.
Worst
the 2 powerhouses
top
in
10
the Big
team
Ten,
in college
Booker
football
losing
history.
on the road at Ohio State, home
You're
against Michigan.
Crazy.
I don't think
They
they're
were
that
they were
good.
beat on
There's
this.
so many better.
But beating
There's
Michigan
so many
State,
teams
and frankly said,
that
saving
are worse,
themselves
but that were
up,
top 10
potentially being
teams
a
that
New
are
Year's
worse.
Six bowl. Good year, not a great year because you can't beat Michigan and Ohio
I would like
State.
to see a Penn State Missouri
Let's look at
bowl
number
game.
9.
Yo, shout out
Ahead
to
of
the
the
80
Nittany
people
Lions is
tuning in.
Missouri and Eli Drinkwitz, a 10-win season
All
for
you
him,
guys,
likely
please
off to a New Year's
like
Six
and
Like,
bowl.
subscribe
subscribe.
to
Really
our
important,
channel.
too, for Kansas State
Week
to stay
Zero
in the top
Pop- Week Zero
25,
Productions.
prop up Missouri's resume. Tennessee
You guys don't
also
have a-
gets
you need
back
a-
on track this past week.
Oh, I got it.
Vanderbilt,
banner.
another feather in Missouri's
I
cap.
got one.
They get them 2 ranked wins and a rock solid 10-win season for Eli Drinkwitz and the Tigers.
And we know that in every set of the rankings so far, the top 8 teams have moved around, but they've been the same teams. That's going to be the case again tonight. So at number 8, Alabama stands
Bama
firm
stays.
after escaping at Auburn over the weekend.
Escaping
Man,
is
this should be
correct.
Ohio
I'm trying to figure
State.
out what kind of coverage that was.
They
Auburn
can't.
was
They
playing,
can't. Well, they can't
but
move Ohio. They
Alabama,
can't
the
move
ability
Alabama,
to
but
hit
It'll
Texas.
be so
40
Texas
yards
will
after
probably
doing everything
no.
they
Ohio
could
State will be
to give
here,
the
and then
game away.
Texas.
A terrific
That should
win
be
as they
Ohio
stay
State.
top 8.
I think
LSU
Ohio
at
State's gonna be
number 7,
6.
one spot ahead of the Crimson Tide.
Oh,
This
they
is
got
I say
disrespectful.
6.
I
called it.
It's one
I called
point.
it.
The Texas Longhorns still sitting
I called
at
it.
It's
7,
rigged.
so Kirk, that means Ohio State's going to show up soon. But Texas has a great opportunity to win the Big 12.
Oh
on
no,
Saturday.
they are let the backdoor scenarios
Yeah, I
commence.
think everybody thought after Ohio
Oh,
State
yeah.
lost, curious to see where they would end up. I think many thought they'd maybe be behind
Bro,
teams like Texas
how are
and
they
Alabama,
behind?
clearly
in front of
ahead.
Texas.
And what does this
makes
mean
no
for
sense.
Alabama
Texas
and
just
Texas
beat
if
somebody-
they would have somehow,
And they got the best win. They got a better win than Ohio State.
Wait, could that mean that?
Hold on, hold on,
to
hold
the
on,
top
Connor, hold
4. Texas is at 7. You got Oregon and Washington ahead of them. Would they skyrocket up? So it really sets up for an interesting Sunday, depending on the results on Saturday night.
And the one
Masson's got a
thing
point
too to
here.
remember is that the committee goes to
I think
great
that's
lengths to say
fair.
we don't project. And the one things that if
So,
those teams are in the
if it
mix,
had been
if
a-
they
I
go
think
down
it's
the
fair
road,
to
right,
say
Greg,
that.
is they would be conference champions.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
and
I
the
think
big
that's
teams
fair.
that are
The game
behind
was
them, both
close,
7 and 8,
and they
have a
were on the
chance to
road. However,
strengthen their resume drastically. But
Texas
right
has
now,
a better
Ohio State's
win
a
than
little
they
too high.
do,
Their schedule
Yeah, but
and
they-
is
that's
kicking the
but-
doors in
We've
on
all
people.
acknowledged the strength of the Big Ten
But
this year.
I'll ask you
every year.
this: have you ever
But they
seen
have
a
2
team
wins
go
against
from all the
teams
way
that
from
have 8
2
or more
down
wins
to
on the
like
season.
8
Penn State,
plus?
Notre
Like
Dame,
that's a
2 ranked
that's a
wins
pretty
as
big
well.
drop in
Meanwhile,
these
Texas and
rankings.
Alabama each have
You know what I
3.
mean?
And I'm
Like
not
the
trying to
biggest
compare
drop we've
Penn
seen of
State to
any
Tennessee.
team
I
in
don't-
the
I
top
don't think we
25 is like
necessarily need to
6,
compete
7.
or look at them
So,
through the same lens.
like for them to
But if you
drop
look at the
from the
sheer
top
quantity of
2,
challenges
from
that
number
those teams
2
had to
down
pass,
to
those tests that those teams had to
8.
pass with
You
both
know,
Texas
if
and
they had to know
Alabama,
That's fair,
it's
Moose.
just
They do
more-
have the best
more
loss.
tests than what
They have the
Ohio
best
State's had.
loss
They
as well.
failed their
That's
biggest
fair.
one this past week.
Yeah,
Let's go to the
That is
top
fair.
6 now and count them down.
It'll be
from
Ohio
number
State
6
5.
to number 1. That's the way
Or
we're doing
sorry,
it.
Ohio
This
State
is producer
6,
Jeff Brown.
Florida State 5. That's what I'm
At the
calling.
top 4 and the first 2 teams out. Number 6, there's
Yep.
Ohio
Okay.
State, as expected, their lone loss on the road at Michigan. Now, can the Buckeyes stay in position to move up if the right set of circumstances around them unfold? Last year, Kirk, Ohio State was
This is
basically the
hilarious.
least objectionable option. There's still a world in which, say, the top 3 win, Texas gets upset,
You see,
and Ohio State might wind
we'll
up in the
talk about it
same
in a
type
bit.
of situation this year.
Yeah,
And it
Ohio
couldn't be a
State,
top
to me,
10
what they
loss.
would need is a Texas loss and a Florida State loss to even be in the discussion.
I think Florida State's
outside of
outta here.
anything like that, you know, they'll,
I think Florida
they're
State's
clearly on
5.
the outside looking at
I mean,
it.
they're
they were
gonna
already
be 5.
5.
Yeah.
At number 5.
They were already 5 anyway, so they're already 5.
the
Oh,
Oregon
they're
Ducks.
respecting
Oregon
Florida State.
slipping up to number 5. They're up
putting
1
they
from
keep
last
putting
week,
Florida
sort of
State,
moving
Florida State
up a
back
spot
in.
after the
Tell me what,
Buckeyes
dog.
lost.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's not a surprise, guys. The committee has told us all along, even when there were the 3 1-loss teams that we were ranking
Oh,
Oregon,
Dom's talking about
Texas, and
Ohio
Alabama.
State
Now
being
you add
6.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
The committee thinks that Oregon is the best 1-loss team, and so it's not a surprise that they're in front of Ohio State, still taking that measure as the committee's best.
I'm pretty
1-loss
sure-
team.
And of course, Friday
Yeah, we'll
night,
talk about this
game that
obviously
Kirk
after
will
this is
call
over, right?
Oregon and
Because
Washington. A
Yeah, well,
rematch
once
from
Ryan's
Pac-12
gone,
title.
once
Had a
this is
great
done,
game in
Ryan can
Seattle
mute
during
this,
the regular
and then we
season
can
that
mute
the
this, and
Huskies
then
won in the waning moments.
Bucks at
At number
6.
4.
okay.
Oh, yes.
Moose, Moose,
Florida
you're way
State,
ahead of us, dude.
undefeated.
Just stop.
Got by. Tate Rodemaker sort of managed the game, but not a lot of offense, Joey, against the Gators. And they've got Louisville this
They
weekend.
did find a way to win, and I do believe that Louisville losing last weekend sort of hurts Florida State because that would have been a big chip in their resume if they beat Louisville as a top 10 team. Now I think it sort of leaves the door open for some things to happen, but I would expect if Florida State can beat Louisville for the ACC championship, they should be in sitting at number 4.
At number 3,
They would probably be the weakest.
Washington Huskies. So
That might, they
Washington's
actually,
got a
this
little
would be a
room to
weaker
play with, and of
Florida
course, a
State team than
major
that team
challenge
with
coming up against
that,
the Ducks on
Jameis
Friday night
Winston
for that
led team in
Pac-12 championship.
2014.
So now the question becomes,
in my
Yeah.
opinion. I
Georgia
think this would
and
be, it'd be a
Michigan,
weaker
the
Florida State.
last 2 teams left on
Yeah.
the board.
Okay.
Michigan with the huge win against Ohio State. They've won.
It's
at
gonna be.
Penn
It's
State.
Michigan's gonna stay.
Bulldogs,
Gonna go up to
had
2,
a fight from Georgia
Yeah.
Tech game that Greg saw in person and called.
based on
on
what I'm seeing
Saturday
with.
night. Let's see who number 2 is. Number 2,
Come
the
on,
Michigan
bro.
Wolverines moving up a spot after beating Ohio State, and Georgia remains at number 1, 29 consecutive wins. two-time reigning national champion, headed for the SEC championship game. So Michigan just moves up one spot. Georgia holds his spot. Kirk, what's your reaction to that?
My biggest reaction, I'm fine with that. I think Georgia's the best team in the country. I don't have necessarily an issue with that. I don't have an issue with anything. I find it interesting that Florida State, if you're a Florida State fan, you should be very, very excited about these rankings because in my mind, I think Joey or Greg, you mentioned this. If you look behind them, you have Oregon. Oregon, Washington's going to take care of themselves. One's going to be in, one's going to be out. If Oregon wins, you'd think they're going to be able to be in the top 4. If Washington wins, that eliminates Oregon. Ohio State's not going to go anywhere. I find it very hard to imagine, based on these rankings, that if Florida State were to win, even without Jordan Travis, that Texas or Alabama has a chance to go by them. So I think based on what we just saw, if you're Florida State, it looks like you're 4 quarters away from controlling your own destiny.
Okay, I've muted that. So
All right.
I agree. I think what's interesting is, and we'll get to the Michigan thing first. I wanted to continue what he was saying. What will be interesting to see, obviously, with the Florida State, obviously Washington, Oregon, is what happens if Alabama beats Georgia. Obviously, I feel like you would have to put Alabama in, right? I feel like you'd have to put Alabama in. Michigan wins, then you have an undefeated Michigan, you have and Florida State wins. So you have an undefeated Michigan, you have an undefeated Florida State. You have a 1-loss, you have an undefeated Washington or 1-loss Oregon, right? And then you have a 1-loss Georgia.
Yeah.
How would that work? Would they still keep Georgia for the chance? I feel like in that scenario, they would keep Georgia in for the possibility of a 3-peat.
I think it depends on the score of that game, obviously, right? If it's a 1-score game, then you might be absolutely right. If Georgia gets the doors blown off, then maybe there's a discussion there. But I am largely in agreement that if Alabama beats Georgia, Georgia still gets in.
Does Bama? This is a good point. Does Bama then make it in over Texas?
That's the other point.
Well? That's the other point.
Yeah. So if both of them win, I don't know how you would put Bama in over Texas. By the way, by the seeding that you have, right? I think both of them would jump. So the Ohio State being at 6 is kind of a moot point if both Texas and Alabama win their conference championships, because both of them would then jump the other state. That said, if Bama wins and if Texas both win, can you put Bama in over Texas? Becomes a question.
I think
and if
so.
Florida State wins, this thing is a mess.
Oh, no, it's absolutely a mess. I think you could make the argument for it because Bama's beating, a undefeated Georgia. That's a 2-time.
Right.
The number 1 team, 29 consecutive wins, the SEC record for longest winning streak, right? You know what I mean? I think that's the SEC record for longest winning streak. Nice. We're at 69 viewers. Nice. Okay. Obviously, big thing. Michigan does not move. Georgia doesn't move. Obviously, Michigan probably not. Obviously, now has probably either them or Washington have the best win in college football now. Washington has a win over number 5. Oregon,
Washington would have, just based off of rankings, would have the better win just because
based off of that. Sure. Yeah. Both of them did win at home. That's another thing. They're both very similar.
Who are we talking about?
So Washington and Michigan.
How would Washington have a better win?
Oregon's 5, Ohio State 6.
Oregon's 5.
Yeah, but when they beat them, they won't be 5, right? They'll drop to wherever the hell they.
But as of right now,
no. We're talking as of right now. We're not talking ahead. I'm just talking about obviously now Michigan is staying at 2.
We beat
Georgia's
the number 3 team
1.
in America. I mean, number 2 team. I'm sorry, in America, according to the CFP.
I think Oregon. I think if we all sat here and said who's a better team, Oregon or Ohio State, I think we'd all pretty much say Oregon at this point. I mean, I think Oregon's up there with Georgia and Michigan is one of the best 3 teams in the country, and I don't think it's really close. I think Oregon's the best team in the country. But yeah. I mean, I don't really have an issue with it. The Florida State thing, I don't care if they beat Louisville by 8 touchdowns. They should not be in the playoff with a third string quarterback. I'm sorry.
That's ridiculous.
Dude, no, man. No.
Here's the thing, man. This is the thing. Here's the thing. This team, not just the quarterback, went undefeated. You can't then say to the team, because somebody else is throwing the passes, that you haven't had this achievement as a team. It's so many people. It's so many more people than the quarterback.
Then what happens if Florida State does that? They get in, they get drugged in the first round.
I mean, then they just get drugged. I mean, people get drugged in the first round of this thing all the time.
I know, but people would be like, Texas would have had a better shot. Alabama would have had a better shot. Or like,
no, I get that, and they probably would technically, right? And I'm not saying that. By the way, if that happens, if all these teams win their conference championships, then it's a whole nother argument to have. But if Florida State goes undefeated, the reason to keep them out can't be because they have a third string quarterback. Instead, the better reason would be you played in a weaker conference. You barely beat these weaker teams in this weaker conference. That to me is a better argument than you're playing with your third string quarterback.
My thing is also, as one of the guys I follow on YouTube, he had a quote that a lot of people liked on Twitter. This committee isn't ranking the best 4 teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're ranking the 4 most deserving teams.
Right.
And that's what they've done all year. And that's not what the playoff is. It's not supposed to be, you're the most deserving, so you should get it. These are the best 4 teams in the country. No matter what you say, no matter what you think, this is the best 4 teams in the country based off of what we've seen, resume, and all this other stuff.
Right. By the way, hit the like and share button if you're in here. Join the conversation. What do you guys think of Florida State's chances? All of that. Let us know. I think Michigan should be number 1. I think the argument for Michigan to be number 1 is we're the only team with 2 top 10 wins. Nobody else can say that on this list. Obviously, we did what we did in blowing the doors off of every team before we got to Penn State. And yeah, that's that. Georgia is the 2-time defending champs, but what you did last year shouldn't matter. Although I'm sure it does jade people's thinking and voting, but Michigan has the best wins now. Everybody ragged on that schedule. They said Michigan was playing a cupcake schedule. They said when we got to a real teams, we were going to lose against those real teams. We beat both of them, one of them on the road. We should be number 1.
I disagree. I disagree just because I think Georgia. Hold on a second. I think Georgia gets the benefit of the doubt. They won the last 2 playoffs, and I know that people will say
that's what that. Yeah, sorry, Ryan, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that's exactly why they're probably being at number 1 is just because of that. Unfortunately,
like you can't just look at Georgia and be like, oh well, you know what? They don't have the resume that Michigan has, so they should drop. When they haven't done anything to drop, when they have played ranked teams, besides Missouri, besides Missouri, who the committee thinks is a top 10 team, they have blown out everyone. They blew out an Ole Miss team that at the time was number 9 in the country by almost 40 points.
Okay.
That's what I mean is like, well, Georgia struggled against Georgia Tech, but I mean, we've seen Georgia do that last year against Missouri and Kent State. What did they do in the playoff? Like, I think you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. I wouldn't be mad at Michigan being 1, but
neither would I. I totally see that's the reason why they're keeping Georgia at 1 is secretly it's partially because 2-time defending national champ.
It's no way it's no way around that. Like they just need to say that though. You know what I mean? The problem is people aren't saying the real things. They're giving us like these cupcake answers of they played in the SEC or they were number 1 before and they beat Missouri and blah blah blah. Like I understand that, and maybe the strength of schedule for them may be a little better than Michigan right now. Maybe at this point, I'm not even sure what it is now, but I just think based on the eye test, committee is going to rank Michigan in order to give them more spots. At this point, I don't even care about that part because I do feel like Michigan can beat anybody, and that's just my feeling. Thank you. Right. Madison finally saying something I agree with.
Because it's human nature. That's why.
Yeah.
Like it. The thing is, and that's Phil. The reason they won't come out and say it is because by their own rules, they're not supposed to bring in the previous years. But it's human nature to sit there on that same, especially when it's the same committee that watched the same Georgia team the last 2 years, absolutely drag teams in the playoff.
Ryan, you were using that as an argument for Notre Dame all this past year about last year and stuff as well. Everyone does it.
Yeah, I mean it's human nature, and I think you're never gonna eliminate that. Whether you have unless you just have the old BCS rankings, which I don't know if you guys have seen the ESPN FPI, which is what the BCS did or used. It's awful. They've got Ohio State at number 1.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't even know how you did that.
What is the let me check what the actual BCS rankings would be right now, because the BCS rankings have been very close to what actually everyone hated the BCS. But they've been pretty relatively accurate.
Georgia struggled with trash teams. Michigan just struggled with Maryland. So I mean yeah.
Don't do that.
No, I'm not. No, Phil, I'm not bashing, but I'm saying you can't be like, well, Michigan didn't struggle with
Talia is a legit NFL prospect.
Oh, come on.
Tualia.
Northwestern,
Tualia, right.
They lost to Northwestern, Phil.
Well, they did. Northwestern's going bowling.
Northwestern's
much better than I gave them credit for.
So I just found this on Twitter. This is that's the wrong thing. This is a BCS. This is actually still using the BCS, and it has Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Florida State. It's the exact same top 4.
Okay.
Ohio State 5, Oregon 6. That's the difference.
Ridiculous.
That's the Oregon. And then they have Penn State 9, Missouri 10. Actually, pretty much other than they have Iowa below Notre Dame. The only two differences between there's 3 differences from 1 to 17. That's the only, according to what the actual BCS would be if that was still a thing.
Yeah.
So the committees, obviously, that's the whole computer thing, and everyone thought, oh, that's unfair. But now the human bias is totally different. So
Moose, if they had a good quarterback, Tualia wouldn't have thrown 4 interceptions in that game, and that game was still close. Just saying.
I'm tired of the OSU hate. So sad for Marv.
This Moose kid is cringe, man. It's okay, Moose. We all look through. We all look at our teams.
Put Madison's comment up here because we got to talk about it.
What, this one?
Michigan,
no, sorry, that one. So sad for Marv.
Again, okay, Joe. If like Madison said, why are we talking about? Hold on. Where's that? Wait, Maryland was not trash. Notre Dame lost to Marshall last year. Hey, Marshall had a better
Stanford.
Marshall had a better record than Maryland, so you can. Anyway, also, why is Joe? Like Madison,
shout out to Madison.
Like Madison said, why are we talking about previous years, bro?
Why are we talking about previous
exactly?
Years? Okay, no, seriously. Seriously, though. Seriously.
Never both ways.
Michigan, this is another reason Michigan should be number 1. And this is a highly underrated reason. The head coach has literally missed half the season. Not to mention, he missed the first 3, which people thought was a laughing stock, right? We're playing these weak non-con people. It's fine, right? But the last 3 were literally the best 3 teams on the schedule, right? Preseason wise, and really played out in the season. We go on the road in Happy Valley, come out of Beaver Stadium with a W. On the road the following week in Maryland, come out of College Park with a W. Go home against a team that everybody thought was going to beat us. You saw it. Other than Desmond Howard and Aiden Hutchinson and Charles Woodson, everybody on Fox, everybody on ESPN, actually not everybody on Fox, but everybody on ESPN said Ohio State was going to win that game, and Michigan came out and with another W without the head coach. So we did play Maryland close. However, we didn't have our head coach. We did play Penn State.
Oh, come
close.
on.
We didn't
You
have
just
the coach.
beat Ohio State without your head coach. Come on.
Bro,
Like,
I'm just
let's
saying.
be
I'm just
real
saying.
here. Let's
I'm
be
just
real
saying.
for a second.
If I am being real, because when we had our head coach against Ohio State, we beat them by multiple scores. The last
come
two
on. I
seasons.
don't think it really makes a difference. He got a chance to implement the game plan. So
Wait,
what? He wasn't there on
but
game,
it does make a difference because he wasn't there for situational football. He wasn't there.
Shamar was told what to do the whole week leading up to the game. He just literally just did what John or
First
Jim,
of all, this just sounds like something you just made up. Nobody
Jim was
ever
at
said.
practice.
I get that Jim was at practice. However, we don't know if Jim was leading the practices. We don't know if Jim was like, "Hey, make sure you run this in this situation." By the way, like who could do that? I don't know, man. Like whatever. I just think that
I just don't think
us not having our head coach.
My thing is, Phil, like you can't sit around and be like, "Oh, well, Georgia struggled with Auburn," as a Michigan fan, and then act like, "Oh, well, Maryland's a good team."
Sure.
My
argument for Michigan being rated or being ranked higher than Georgia though isn't around doesn't or it's not about them struggling with Auburn or them struggling with Georgia Tech or them struggling with Missouri or whoever, right? It's about what Michigan did that they didn't do. They didn't beat 2 top 10 teams. They didn't have their head coach be suspended for half the season.
Well,
he
whose
literally
fault
was
that?
suspended for 3 games on 2 separate occasions. Whose fault it was is not the point, right? Like that would be like you overcoming racism and then being like, oh well, it's your fault for being black. Bro, no, I made it to the top.
That's complete. Hold up, no, Phil. That's completely two different things.
No. I get that that was extreme, fam. I get that was extreme. But what I'm saying though is that he still, like, you know, regardless of what Jim did, the team still overcame that to be where they are, right?
I mean, my only thing, I don't have an issue with anything you just said, Phil.
Yeah.
But my thing is with the suspension, that's Michigan's own doing. That's their fault, not the players, but that's their coaching staff's fault. So I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you know, I feel bad for them because they didn't have a coach. Well, that's your fault. Don't cheat. Anyway, my own thing is like, my only issue is what the people in the comments are saying, like, is like, if you want to say Michigan has the better resume, fine. Right. I understand that. Great. If you want to put it number 1, whatever.
That's the point I made.
But if you want to sit up here and say, well, they should be number 1 because Georgia struggled against bad teams, I mean, you can't be like, well, when I bring up, well, Michigan struggled against Maryland, who's 6-6. Well, Maryland was a good team. Auburn 6-6 too. I mean,
Maryland 7-5. Correct.
Okay, whatever. Well, either way, Auburn's 6-6. They're one win.
Auburn is one-dimensional.
Everybody
knows that Auburn has to run the ball to be successful.
Auburn almost beat Bama.
I mean, I get it. I mean, again, it's a rivalry game. We know that those are a little different. Shout out to Benny Woods for my bad.
And also, Phil, I don't know if you've ever been to Jordan Hare. If you've ever been to Jordan Hare, but
I've not been to Jordan
Hare.
Hare.
Just like Jordan Hare just has some weird mojo.
Yeah, weird shit always happens at Jordan Hare.
Obviously, with the Georgia game, the kick 6,
right?
2021, Alabama kicking the field goal off the upright to cost them the game, and then this year, it's just like. Oh my God. So, okay. any other, obviously the top 4, obviously we're going to be day in, day out talking about that.
Whoa.
Okay.
Benny Woods coming at you,
Benny
Phil.
Woods coming here. Hitting Phil where it hurts.
No. I saw this. I said shout out to him for that. I mean, that's his personal opinion. He's got a right to feel that way.
Wait,
hey, look,
racism comment. I got to bounce.
I like
look at this, Ryan.
I like the.
Look at this. Ryan's going to ESPN. He'll fit right in.
No, basically, so how Michigan and Ohio State fans are, as I've learned in Twitter Spaces, if you aren't, the Sam Hartman, you with their teams, you have terrible takes and should shut up. That's how those fan bases work.
If you're not what?
Funny.
If you're not sucking them off, basically, you gotta bounce.
Well, bro, you should know you've been on your knees for Ohio State for like 95% of the season.
No, I haven't. I had I legitimately thought they
you
were better.
and you and Buckeye Garrison have been bromancing over that game and downing Michigan every chance you get.
Because Garrison was the only one with me that was like, yeah, man, Notre Dame, that Louisville loss was a fluke, man. Notre Dame's a real.
Well, he had to.
An Ohio State fan saying Ohio State fans kind of suck.
They do. No, that's legit. That's legit. Shout out to Madison again. She's every time she says something, and then I'm like, I don't know Madison, but then she redeems herself with comments like that. Shout out to Madison.
Bro,
I'm just
tells no lies.
To Jim's grave, man.
I'm just glad I never say anything stupid. Really, or that outrageous, and Ryan just takes all the heat from the comments for me.
No, because you know what's crazy?
She's in the marching
band. The thing that bugs me the most is
the best damn band in the land, according to them.
The thing that bugs me the most about Michigan and Ohio State fans, we went to besides Ohio State, Michigan fans especially, because Michigan fans were quiet when talking about Notre Dame for a long time.
Bro, we are still quiet. Nobody talks about you.
No. I'm talking about like talking trash, like when we get in, like when we're talking about Ohio State, Michigan stuff.
Okay, all right.
When we were making 2 CFPs, we were going undefeated and all this stuff before you guys were even a thing. You guys were like in the corner over there.
This is hilarious.
Man, we're losing to Felipe Franks, Florida in a bowl game. Like that's what you guys were doing. Now that you guys are on top for the first time in since 1997, it's like all these Michigan fans want to come out the woodwork.
Hey, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm in a bunch of Michigan circles on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Literally nobody brings up Notre Dame, and that's not a shot at Notre Dame. It's just that we're not thinking about them, right? And it could be because we don't have them on the schedule. There's no reason for us to talk about them if we're not being talked to by a Notre Dame fan. And it seems like every chance Notre Dame fans get, they have something negative to say about Michigan, i.e. you this year. For whatever reason, maybe it's because of all the winning we've been doing and all the gloating I've been doing. I apologize. Don't allow my confidence to offend your insecurity.
Well, it's more, Phil. It's more that when I was confident in my teams,
right,
we had people saying we didn't deserve to get in the playoff. So I mean,
well, you're gonna get that. We have the same. Actually, we've been undefeated.
I just hope that I can eventually get to a place where I can be confident enough in my team to make the playoff. To be actually shit talk, to be kind of a shit talker. I can't shit talk. You know what I mean? I can shit talk about my NFL team to you guys, but I can't do it about my college football team. So that's just how it be.
Bromancing the O, bro. That's what they were doing. Bromancing the O, man. It was crazy.
Actually, no. Notre Dame fans.
I'm not bromancing the O.
Notre Dame fans hate Ohio State and Michigan more than anything.
Notre Dame, yes, that's fair. That is true. And by the way, they have a reason, right? Michigan was keeping them out of the Big Ten, all these things. So I understand.
And it's funny because Michigan fans are always the ones that be like, join the Big Ten.
Well, I mean, it is 2023, and that did happen in the 19th century. Get over it. But
wait, Phil, what were you about to say about me? You said my name and then you stopped.
No, I was saying that you have not been bromancing the O.
No.
Connor is saying he hasn't been bromancing the O. Speaking of Notre Dame, though, I did notice some things. You guys fired your wide receiver coach of all the people to fire. By the way,
what do you mean?
A guy who is bringing in
he's a great
doesn't
recruiter,
seem
but
like the guy
his
to fire.
His developmental stuff is been bad. He had Chris Tyree to work with for 3 years. Did nothing with Chris Tyree. I mean,
Chris Tyree coming to Virginia Tech. Probably not, but
probably. If he goes to LSU, he'll probably go to LSU.
Hey, we got to pull Madison's comment up again.
Yep.
Pull the first one and then pull the second one.
Oh. No, this one.
Okay, this pisses her off, right? Because all right, now go to the second one.
Do they have like Bishops? Do they have Bishop Sycamore on there or something?
No, we got some bad wins on there early on, but it's the same for everybody. Like the other state had wins over the Dayton YMCA. And you know what I mean? Like there were high schools.
To be fair,
Rutgers probably has like 5 wins over Princeton when it was only those two
like
teams.
All of
were
those
the only
teams
college
had
football
like
teams. You know what I mean?
Embellished wins, and granted they played the games and won them, but they were beating some high school down the street. So I get it, but we just happened to do it more than everybody else, and we got 1,000 wins. So
Detroit, you guys can't win a Mickey Mouse Bowl. You guys are 0-7 in those. No.
First of all, we're not 0-7.
You are 0-7 the last 7 times you've been there.
Well, Jim, why you gotta? Those bowl games mean nothing to us.
Well, because you guys can't win them.
Are you talking about New Year's 6 games?
Well,
Jim just can't win bowl games. That's what he can't do.
It's all right. It's all good. All that's going to change this year.
Hold on, real quick.
That 1,000, right? Was that a high school?
Also,
Did we just beat
Michigan? Like, to be fair, like the first to reach 1,000, it'll be vacated. Right. So they'll be the first team to reach 1,000 twice.
God, man, you sound like every Ohio State fan in my comments, bro.
But anyway,
again, romancing the
no, it's true because it'll probably be vacated. Then you'll reach 1,000 again. But anyway, dude, Michigan also played football.
I'm gonna say this. Imagine if Michigan does.
Madison just gave you guys a sub. Shout out to Madison.
Thank you.
Sweet. There you go, Madison. Imagine if you guys win the championship and then you have to vacate it because of this.
I don't care
because for some reason.
Listen to me. I want everybody to hear.
Why am I catching shade all of a sudden? Why am I catching shade? I'm not saying anything.
You gotta add. You gotta add.
This is what happens, Phil. This is what Connor means when he says he wants to be able to be in the shit talking stage of college football.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
welcome.
When he talks,
that was
people say, "Shut up, man! You're a Virginia Tech fan." Like, y'all haven't won nothing.
But I'm catching shade for. I mean, sure, it's okay. Which one do I get rid of? Do I get rid of? No. Wait. No, I'm getting rid of Super Happy V Tech man. I'm gonna say, what the fuck is Virginia Tech?
Yeah. So I want people to hear me clear. If Michigan wins this natty, I don't care what the NCAA says, does.
There you go, DK.
They can remove the win. Say we vacate the title. No, we won the championship.
Phil, you know what? So you'll be the new UCF.
No. It'll be different than UCF because we'll actually have played and won.
Well, no. Because UCF.
DK, gotta give me a sub.
UCF
do it.
Acknowledges that they are the 2018 national champs.
Right.
But the NCAA doesn't recognize it, so technically it's not real. So, kind of the same thing. Kind of.
Right. Maybe that's crazy. We'll join.
Wait, so
we'll create a conference with UCF.
Phil, haven't you guys like played football longer than a lot of schools though?
Yes.
Like you taught Notre Dame how to play football.
Right.
So I mean, to be fair, it is kind of skewed because you guys have played it longer.
I mean, sure, but Princeton's been playing longer than we have. They don't have 1,000 wins.
And Rutgers.
Right. And also, we have the third best win percentage, even if we've played longer than everybody else. So all those schools, Michigan still has the third best win percentage. By the way, that was the best win percentage if you start at the start of the 21st century, Michigan had the best win percentage. So
Wait, so they stole the 97 title from you guys?
well, they stole it being a sole Michigan championship.
Was
Nebraska
it a co?
Oh,
shared
it was a co
Oh.
with Colorado,
Yeah.
right?
Nebraska.
Hey, I don't want to hear about it. We
Oh,
should have
Nebraska,
won the
sorry.
championships in 89 and 90, and they screwed us because we beat number 1 Colorado in 1990, and we were number 3. And instead of giving us the national championship,
Absolutely. I'm doing that. I'm gonna do that tonight.
Oh my God!
He's gonna
Yes,
gotta do that.
Yeah.
Gotta do that.
I
We
need a
the,
cartoon photo of Ryan and Garrison on there. And we're doing that first.
get the fan art.
No,
going. Let's
you
go.
gotta have them like hugging each other, like leaning in, about to kiss each
Right.
other. And says,
But we both
no,
got to be
no,
wearing
no,
Notre
you got-
Dame
no,
and Ohio State jerseys.
Right.
No, what you gotta do is you gotta make a shape right between them, like the shape. The space between them makes the O.
He's making the
Makes
fan
the
art right now.
Don't romance the O, and the O is in
Good
between.
good look, DK.
DK, you better give us a sub.
don't bromance
You put it in
the
what
O.
the fuck is Virginia Tech. So, gotta get a sub out of you, brother. But
97 was really a
Oh,
bad
man.
system. Great, but needed upgrades. You guys
Okay.
tonight still doing the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
9. So
yeah, so yeah, I think we're.
Did you say at
back.
9? Oh, 9
9.
your time.
yeah, my time.
Yeah.
I can't tell who this is referring to.
Probably me.
Probably me. No, it's probably me. It's probably
No,
me.
I'm surprised no one. Phil, I'm surprised anytime Connor has spoke about anything on this channel or on your channel, no one has sat up here and said, "Shut up, bro. Beat Old Dominion first before talking about blank." Insert name.
Wow.
Hey, we
Wow.
did. We beat them this year, so that counts.
You did. Congratulations on that. Are you guys are going bowling, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are.
There
They,
you go.
they drug Lil Bro now.
You got to
they
start.
drug
You got to
Lil
start
Bro.
right. You guys beat the
We
brakes
probably
off
would beat. We
Virginia.
probably would beat them. We probably would beat them, honestly.
No, UVA's your Lil Bro now.
No, they are. We drug them more than. I mean, they haven't won. They've only won once.
By
in
the way,
last
Phil,
20 years.
I was
UVA?
going to tell you, by the way, Phil, because I think you should use this. So, since you guys have beat Ohio State 3 years in a row,
Mhm.
I don't think they're a little bro-nem status yet,
Right.
but I think they're a little step bro-nem.
Step
Like,
Right. So,
or wait,
So-
little adopted bro-nem.
Right.
sorry. But little Bronham, you've only beaten like 2 straight years in a row because they beat you 2 or 3 years
In
ago.
21.
With,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
won in
in
21.
21 in Walker.
Well,
so
let me correct that.
No, they didn't beat you. Kenneth Walker beat
Right.
you.
Kenneth Walker won in 21. 5 touchdowns. It was ridiculous.
facts. But yeah, so were you calling them Little Bronham before that though, or is that like a new thing you've been calling them lately?
Oh no, Lil Bronim is new. Since I started the channel, actually, Lil Bronim has been created. So they
Do you
were
have
just
Little
Lil Brother
Bronham merch
before that.
coming? you have
We
Little
do. I got
Bronham
merch coming. It's gonna be great. Lil Bronim,
Sweet.
the other state. We're branding all of these.
I
things.
need the merch.
Don't-
I need to
Yeah.
copy me a triple N.
Definitely got you guys. Yes,
No,
Mike
and
Hart
Phil-
started Lil Brother for sure.
Yeah. And then are you talking, Ken? Are you talking to me? Hello, Ken. Hi, Ken.
Shout out to Ken.
So Phil, you gotta send me your address because
Yeah.
I have a Christmas gift for you guys. So I gotta send that to you.
Appreciate it, guys.
It'll
Yes,
probably
Ken is
be
absolutely
late,
right.
but yes.
Mike Hart did coin the phrase "little brother" when referring to Michigan State in 07. I coined "Lil Bronim."
Now, real quick, was that before or after the App State game?
that would have been after, right? That would have been
Okay.
after App
Oh,
State.
real quick, one more
Yeah.
thing while we're talking about this, since this is the CFP show. Clap it up. Our boys over at James Madison and Jacksonville State, they're gonna get to go bowling this year.
Oh,
They didn't have
Oh, there's
enough
9 of
updates.
6 and 6 teams.
Yeah,
Let's go.
So we get
go.
to see the Dukes and Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks, playing
What
for
I want
a
to
bowl
see,
game.
as I freeze up.
Can we get like a
What
James
I-
Madison Jacksonville State bowl game? Because that would be.
No, what I want.
Nobody's watching that.
What I want. No, what I
Nobody's
want
watching
is
that.
Liberty JMU. What I want is Liberty
Ooh.
JMU.
I'd watch that.
I think that's a better
I'd watch that.
matchup.
Yeah, but obviously, come next Thursday, it will be our bowl games. Of course, this week.
And Phil, when we do
this
that,
Thursday,
feel free to plug that on your in your videos and stuff that you make.
What is it?
The bowl mania.
We're gonna do the bowl mania we're gonna do like a bowl mania on ESPN. We're gonna do that.
For this year, I'm gonna make it to where the winner gets $100 gift card for anything they want. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow week 0. Win yourself $100 gift card.
Yeah, and then
just in time for the holidays.
Yeah, so that'll be we'll do those pick'ems next Thursday because I think all the bowl games will have been decided by that point. I think. This Thursday will be all of the all the conference championship games in FBS. I think we'll do all FBS conference games, not just the Power 5, plus Army Navy. Army Navy will also do that this week, right?
Yep.
So
yeah,
that'll be, so thankfully for once this pick'ems this Thursday is only going to be like 11 games.
Yeah.
It's only gonna be,
Thank the Lord.
Hey,
that one last week was ridiculous, bro. That was OD. It was like 1 a.m.
Oh man. Okay. So the three of us will be back in about 2 hours or so for our normal stream coming back, talking about rivalry week. Obviously, we'll go over the CFP and our own rankings. Will that be today, I'm guessing? Tonight, probably?
Yep. No. That'll be Thursday, because I don't have Josh's or yours. All right, wait. Yeah, send DM me
Michigan
yours,
should be number 1. I just want to put that
I
out
DM'd you mine. I DM'd you mine already. All right, put them in the chat. It should be in the chat. But we'll be back in about 2 hours for that stream. Until then, we will see you guys around. This has been the Week 0 podcast and Maize Mad Man. Hope you guys enjoy the stream. We'll be back later.
I'm upset.